What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TD Sports Talk. We got some breaking news coming out of Dallas and Cleveland. The Dallas Cowboys have successfully traded wide receiver Amari Cooper and a sixth-round pick to the Cleveland Browns for a 2022 fifth-round pick and a sixth-round pick. So basically, Amari Cooper got traded for a sixth-round pick, and they swapped a fifth-round pick. They swapped sixths. Amari Cooper, the Browns got Amari Cooper for a fifth-round pick. It was that simple. Amari Cooper is a Brown for a fifth-round pick. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, but he's pretty much about $20 million a year, roughly. And let me say why I say and. Dolphin fans, if y'all trying to get Tua Tagovailoa an elite receiver, how much y'all think it's gonna cost? Y'all think y'all finna go find a $10 million receiver that's gonna make all the difference? Do we really think that we're gonna find a $10 million receiver that's gonna make all the difference? How much did you think an elite receiver was gonna cost? That's what I want to know. How much you thought he was going to cost? But the Browns do re-up. They replace Odell Beckham pretty much, right? They get their receiver again. They get a receiver. I know the whole Jarvis Landry stuff, but I don't know the end result of that. I don't know if they still have Jarvis Landry under contract. I know there was some controversy with whether or not they let him go or not. Not sure. I haven't kept up with that, but I'll check it out. Theo said, where is the aggressiveness Greer talked about? Oh, he waiting on the clock to hit Wednesday and then start trying to sign people. So, again, this is why I told y'all. I don't get into all of this, man. All of this free agency, getting all hyped on. Ooh, the Dolphins looking at Amari Cooper. Ooh, the Dolphins looking at J.C. Jackson. Ooh, the Dolphins. We looking at everybody. And first of all, another thing you need to understand, in the tampering period, every position that we need, we offered 4 of the top players a contract before the free agency starts. They already trust me, when Wednesday comes and free agency opens, half of the free agents already know where they're going and how much they're going to get. So we offer like the top 4 of every position we need a contract. If 3 of them turn us down and 1 of them says yes, we say, hey, we are definitely coming to get you. So on Wednesday, we're going to pull the trigger. If all 4 of them say yes, we tell 3 of them never mind and go with whatever one that we want out of the 4. They offer everybody multiple contracts. This is why at this point, the Dolphins are interested in this. The Dolphins are interested in that, just like 31 other teams. That's why when it comes to free agency, I don't get into all of this hype and what you heard might go get. It's all a might. And then on top of it, that player has to want to come to you. Y'all saw it last week. Oh, J.C. Jackson coming to Miami. You saw the picture? Oh, he was in Miami. And yesterday he was in Los Angeles. And he wasn't even in Miami. The picture that was taken, he was actually in Hollandale. I mean, it's right there by Miami, but he was in Hollandale. I knew exactly where he was. Right off of Hollandale Beach Boulevard on the beach. 3 hotels down from the Diplomat. But anyway, that's why I don't get into all of that, man. At the end of the day, once news comes of something that we actually do, bam, I'm hitting it. TD, should we get DK? It's going to go from DK. Then it's going to go to DJ Chark. Then it's going to go to this. Then it's going to go to that. We're going to get who we get. All these offseason plans and mocks, we're going to get who we get. Whoever we can get. Y'all just better hope that we come out of this successful, because I mean, we live in a world where we act like players don't make business decisions based off of what they come into. I mean, I want y'all to think about it. You can name the best receiver available. He gonna have 10 teams give him an offer. Even if we pay the most, it probably won't be drastically more than everybody else. And then that player has to say, man, I ain't going to them. I ain't going to them. I ain't going to them. Here's the 5 teams. And you got to ask yourself, what's appealing about Miami other than the city itself that will make a player, a top receiver, want to come to Miami? They trying to fix their O-line. There's no guarantee they will. They trying to develop their quarterback. There's no guarantee he will. But the Chargers called me too. They got an O-line and they got a quarterback. Oh, the Bengals called me. They went to the Super Bowl. They got a quarterback and they got money and they say they're going to fix their O-line. So, oh, this team called me. Oh, that team called me. Or they're already Super Bowl contenders. Buffalo want me. The Chiefs want me. The Browns want me. Somebody said, you're no fun, TD. Listen, man, I just value my time. I value my time. Some people got all the time in the world to just hear nonsense. I value my time. That's why I don't waste my time all these scenarios when 90% of them ain't even going to happen. Now, if something makes all the sense in the world and it adds up, I may present that. But when it comes to the Browns, did the Browns get better? Yeah, they got better, but again, you still got Baker Mayfield. You still got Baker Mayfield. It's like 4 players that we know we need and solidified at a position. We be lucky to get 2. No, true, TD. Miami could offer the exact same amount of money. It would be way more because there's no state income taxes. Just one reason. Yeah, Theo, but it just depends on what state. What if the Houston Texans want to bring that same player in? What if the Dallas Cowboys want to bring him in because they want to replace Amari? Ain't no state taxes in Texas. I'm just saying, I understand the state tax situation, but people, and then you also have the guaranteed money piece of it as well. But this is why we overpay. This is why we overpay. Somebody said no Cooper, no Watson. Well, to be honest, I knew we weren't getting Amari Cooper because he wasn't a free agent anyway. I didn't think they would cut him. I really figured that they would get a trade. I just thought it would be like a 7th round pick. They end up getting a 5th. All this talk that Dallas wants a 3rd, but they'll take a 4th. They end up getting a 5th. It had to be by a team that was willing to pay him the money anyway in free agency. And the Broncos would have paid him the money in free agency. Therefore, they said send a 5th. It's that simple. Zachary said Browns are losing Landry, gaining Cooper. Right now, they haven't got any better. They haven't because they lost Odell too when they traded him. They ain't get no better. Another weapon gone. Browns are a team just like us, out here being ridiculous. Out here being like, I want y'all to really think about this, y'all. I want y'all to think about this. They just basically locked in $20 million for Cooper, right? 15 more million, you could have went and got Deshaun Watson, Browns. Or they might still make it happen. I don't know. Because you could have traded Baker. And the crazy thing is, in this quarterback market, I wouldn't give a 1st rounder for Baker, but you can get a 1st for Baker for one of the teams that end up losing in this quarterback carousel. Because you still got like 5, 6 teams right now that 7 teams, 8 teams really that would go after Watson, abandon their quarterback because they need to get better, that they're just settling. They're just dealing with the guy they got or hoping he can develop, but they don't feel strong. One of those teams would trade you for Baker just to get some fresh blood because it'll still be an upgrade. And you may be restructuring this deal anyway. Nah, TD, I think both sides are not interested anymore. I'm not sure what you're talking about, guys. Really not sure what you're talking about. Trade Tua for whatever and go get Watson. Listen, I told y'all yesterday when I went on that rant, there's a 99.999997% chance that the Miami Dolphins will screw it up. They are not going to get Deshaun Watson. Pride comes before the fall, man. Pride comes before the fall. It always does. And that brings me to this point, this narrative that Tua deserves an opportunity to become a franchise quarterback. Just because you trade for Watson and trade him somewhere else does not mean he ain't going to get his opportunity. Where's this notion come from? This is business. If we traded for Watson and traded Tua to anywhere, he does deserve, and he's going to get his opportunity. Bye. This notion he deserves a chance. He's going to get a chance to whoever you trade him to. You act like if we trade him, he ain't going to get his money. He getting his money, and he's still getting a chance. Matter of fact, it'll be a better chance. And that's the crazy thing. Tua getting traded to another team would be better. He would have a longer of a chance. He'd at least have 2 more years than 1 year in Miami and it don't work out. Because if it don't work out this year, that's it. Hopefully Miami not trading for Cooper is a sign they're going to spend big on the O-line and maybe sign quality wide receiver vets like Juju for like $10 million. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the plan. But again, go spend money on the O-line. This is going to be very interesting because we got a quarterback that the longer he gets to hold the ball in his hand, the more time he gets to throw the ball, the worse his numbers look compared to his peers. You got to go look at the chart for quarterbacks. The longer he gets to throw the ball, the worse he looks compared to his peers, other quarterbacks. So I don't understand that notion. They're going to get an O-line. That's what they did for Baker Mayfield. And it got worse. That's what they did for Baker Mayfield. They went and secured that line, and it got worse. Y'all should go look at the advanced stats with Tua and Baker Mayfield comparison. There's a lot of similarities, man, when it comes to those advanced stats. You would not believe the longer that Tua got to throw the ball, the worse his performance was compared to his peers. I'm not saying the worse it was in general. That's why I keep emphasizing compared to his peers, because all quarterbacks' numbers drop the longer they have the ball, because that means less options may be available to throw because the early targets that they're trying to hit are not there. But compared to his peers, he drops off of the face of the earth. And it ain't got nothing to do with receiver separation because we get the average separation that most teams get in the NFL. If we don't get La'el Collins, I'll be upset. That's unfair. We should not be upset for who we don't get. La'el, these players are unrestricted free agents. We don't determine if they come to us. They determine where they want to go. Dolphin fans, please understand that. I know a lot of people out here feeding us pipe dreams about we got the money, we need to go get that person, we need to go get that person, all wishful thinking. But we do not determine who comes to Miami. Wait, you said Collins is a trade? Then what are we talking about? I'm thinking you're talking about the free agent. I ain't know he was yeah, he wasn't on my free agent list, so I guess you're right. But still, so why would we guarantee that we're going to get him? Why would we guarantee that we'll get him? Once again, what makes the Miami Dolphins special over 31 other teams? Or let's say the 10 other teams that may be interested in him. What makes the Miami Dolphins special? Like we have to go get him or it's a failure. 10 other teams got to go get him or it's a failure. I know y'all talk about now. I was actually mistaking him with another player. You're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. CD, didn't you hear every top free agent wants to play with Tua? Collins is going to the Bengals. Book it. We'll see. Colts has the most cap as of now. Yeah, the Colts do have the most cap. Yesterday, I saw they had $71 million, and they still got 7 Pro Bowlers under contract. I think that they're going to try to give everything they have to go get Watson. Or what's his name? They're going to try to get Watson. They're going to try to get Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins. They're going to do everything they can. Who do you expect us to start? When do you expect us to start releasing players? Monday. I mean, you may hear something today. I just expect it on Monday. Yeah, I expect it Monday. I'm interested though. It's gonna be real. Yeah, Jimmy G. I forgot about him too. He may be one of the guy. He may go to the Colts. Jimmy G may go to the Colts. Yeah, the Colts will have a hard time getting Watson because they gave up draft picks for Wentz to begin with. So, Colts get Watson, man, Super Bowl bound. Y'all see how that is? Colts get Watson, Super Bowl bound. Denver get Russell Wilson. They're a Super Bowl contender. And look at all the other teams already in the AFC. Bengals, Buffalo, Chiefs, plus the 2 you just named. Ravens probably going to be right back if they stay healthy. Chargers, look what they doing. Pittsburgh, if they get the right quarterback. Can't forget about them. Raiders, they just need to get a few more weapons on their defense, in my opinion, too. Just a lot of teams. Patriots, we're not even talking about them and thinking about what they might do. They will be better. I mean, they'll improve. Dolphins. We ain't did nothing yet. We got a lot of plans, but we ain't. See, I'm naming all the teams that's already locked in as one player away. And here we are. See, that's the thing. That's the point. I just named you all the teams that might be like a quarterback away from being a contender. And when you go to Miami, you're so much away. It ain't just the quarterback. He has to develop. So that has to happen. We need 2 more old linemen to mix in with some other guys that we still don't even know if good enough. We're just banking that Eichenberg eventually hold it down and another guy like Austin or somebody. And bring in 2 more guys with them. Another wide receiver we saying we need. The Browns are expected to release Jarvis Landry. The Patriots, Chiefs, and Titans and Jets have interest if he's let go. So look at the teams they named. That's one thing I will say. Mac Jones, did he have receivers this year, y'all? That's an interesting thing to talk about too. Did Mac Jones have any receivers this year? Did Mac Jones have any receivers? I argue with y'all that our receiving core all year was better than the Patriots receiving core. All they had was a tight end. So if they got a Jarvis Landry, that'll help them big time. The Chiefs are looking at Jarvis Landry. Oh. Hey, look at that. Imagine if he goes to the Chiefs and if he's a free agent, he has a choice. Oh, my gosh. Imagine if this man go to the Chiefs. You kidding me? Oh, my gosh. Imagine if that man went to the Chiefs with Tyreek and all. Boy, you wouldn't be able to make that up. You wouldn't be able to make that up. Tennessee Titans? That would be Landry and Tannehill back together. Wow, but that would be sweet too. With the weapons they already have, because I always said they need another receiver. And the Jets, man, they ain't doing nothing but getting better. That would really help their young quarterback. That wouldn't change the whole team, but at the same token, it definitely helps them big time. funny how many QB established teams still willing to upgrade to Watson, but Tua is untouchable. Shaking my doggone head. Can't make it up. Josh Allen to Landry. Well, Buffalo ain't on this list, but that would be nasty too, because they are moving on from Cole Beasley. So it's going to be real interesting when some of these players go to. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make to Dolphin fans and try to appeal to y'all that I keep trying to drill in people's head is the fact that some teams will make 2 moves. First of all, their team is already established. They're already a playoff team. They already making it to championship rounds and divisional rounds. Screw the wild card. They already established and they have an opportunity to bring in certain guys that's going to take them over the top. And here we are, we're not even established and we're just trying to fill a whole bunch of holes and hope it works out. When we all know what the real question on this team is. We out here, this team is trying to do something around one man. Everything we do is to adjust to one man. We are trying to adjust to one man, customize a winning team for one man, figure out all the pieces we need for one man, versus going to get a man who is going to be responsible to be a huge part of figuring it out and getting it done. We are here with a 10-point bullet list of what we need that will be enough to still be successful with this man versus going to get an elite man that's going to require 3 or 4 bullet points instead of 10. That's what we're dealing with. Stick with the one guy that's going to require these 10 bullet points to happen, or go get the one guy that's going to require about 3 to 4 more bullets. And that's what we're dealing with. And then all 11 of those have to work, those 10 bullets and that one, versus that one in those 3 to 4 bullets. So 4 or 5 things having to work. Less room for error, more room for error. It's just like the San Francisco 49ers. Deebo Samuels get hurt. What are they on offense? I mean, when you really look at the impact that Deebo Samuels had on that offense, what would that offense be without the one guy? The only guy I want to be relying on as far as health is my quarterback. The only one that I want to cry about keeping healthy, as long as that person stays healthy, is my quarterback. I don't want to be dependent on, well, if the receiver get hurt, we're screwed. If the right tackle goes down, it don't matter. The whole team's screwed. Only person I want to go down to where I feel like my whole team's screwed is the quarterback. That's it. One position. Everything else, I want to still feel like I got a chance even if we lose a receiver. I want to still feel like I got a chance even if I lose a right tackle. And you only get that feeling if you're an elite quarterback. Joe Burrow, injuries on his O-line and bad play. They still had a chance. Let me ask Dolphin fans this. You go get the best right tackle. No, put it like you go get the best left tackle and the best left guard in the NFL, free agency. They balling all year. If both of them get hurt and go down, do you feel like we'll have a chance? No. But Joe Burrow can have one of the worst right tackles and right guards and centers, by the way, all ranked in the 30 out of 40 eligible linemen. He could have all 3 of those and they still had a chance and they still won games. The man could get sacked 9 times and still throw for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns and go to the championship round. Tua gets sacked 10 times. I'm pretty confident he threw for about 130 on that day. I'm pretty confident if Tua gets sacked 10 times, he threw for 130 yards on that day at best. And what would we all do? Well, he can't play O-line. He can't protect himself. But do you hear people complaining about the Cincinnati Bengals O-line? Matter of fact, they were praising them. Some people even said, we know that we struggled on O-line this year, but you got to give it up to those guys for battling. Even in the first half of the Super Bowl, they protected their quarterback. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where things started to get a little scratchy. They were praising their O-line. Because some people need everything and others can work around limitations. I've seen plenty of Bengals fans saying things about their O-line, LOL. Of course. I mean, there's still going to be complaints, and it should be. But come on, what if they miss the playoffs? Wouldn't you hear a lot more? Wouldn't you hear it to the top of your lungs? Wouldn't you? I mean, everything you hear will be the reason was because of the O-line. But they not saying any reason because they had a quarterback who still carried them despite of. In spite of. And another thing I'm going to address right now, man, people need to stop these false arguments about quarterbacks. What do I mean by that? This whole association on performance versus record. Stop. You're showing your football ignorance. Anybody that associates solely a quarterback's performance to a record don't know football, and they don't know how to articulate themselves in a conversation of football. Everybody, when it comes to football, you should recognize, yes, it is a team sport. And there are different ways you can have a makeup of a team to put it together. Some teams want to be led by their defense, and their offense may be trash, but they could still win games. Dolphins. Our defense carried this team and still won games, a winning record. No credit to our offense. Our offense rarely impacts a game. There are teams that are defensively driven, and there are teams who are heavy offense, and their defenses are pretty bad, where they could put up 30 points a game but have a losing record because their defense gives up 35 a game. So we do recognize that it's about team. But when people give these notions of, oh, a quarterback had 40 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and 4,500 yards, all of that great production still got them a losing record. It didn't get them a losing record. It sounds like that offense is an offense that 80% of the NFL wish they had. But it sounds like their defense sucks if they didn't win games. The only reason people are trying to equate wins and losses as a quarterback stat is because the narrative fits what they want to talk about. And it's lazy journalism for people that, blog or on TV and all of that stuff to even associate it. Well, he's a winning quarterback. He has a winning record throughout his career. Same people do the same thing with coaches. The same people that want to hold Brian Flores' rookie coaching year against him, which is ridiculous. It's crazy to me. At the end of the day, Ben Rice said, hey, TD, Tua is your QB1. Yes, he is. And I hope he can maintain that. I hope he can be great and lead us to a Super Bowl. Appreciate you. I got a feeling nobody wants to come here. We'll get somebody. Somebody will follow the money. Dude averaged 204 a game. Why y'all still pounding the table for him? It's because the O-line and the receivers and the coaching. TD, you are kicks. I don't know what that means. What is you are kicks? I just said you use things to fit your narrative and you came back and told them what I told you. Oh, I didn't see you say that to begin with. But why don't you tell me what things I use to fit my narrative and then give me another narrative that proves it wrong? Because I've heard all the narratives. You totally discount the O-line. I don't. Our O-line sucks. But when I go across the NFL and I look at all the other sucky O-lines, I see quarterbacks making more happen with it. The advanced stats don't lie. Tua Tagovailoa, when protected, is one of the lowest ranked quarterbacks in the NFL. Forget all the bad O-line stuff. When protected, compared to his peers, every time you are protected, Tua, compared to all those other quarterbacks when they're protected, you're ranked 34 out of 38 eligible quarterbacks. When you're protected. Now, when we get into when you're not protected, and you go from a ratio standpoint, when you're not protected, Tua, and you are under pressure, you are worse than the NFL compared to your peers. There is no doubt you are not protected more than your peers, but we're only talking about when you're not. Just like when they're not, you are one of the worst performers in the league. When they don't protect Patrick Mahomes, he actually performs well. He's one of the highest rated performers in the league because he can get himself out of it. You can't. You don't know how to make a play when you're not protected. There are plays that can still be made, but you don't have that element in your game. And that's not a knock on you. You are who you are. But there are quarterbacks that can absorb bad protection. Their numbers drop, but they absorb it better. Joe Burrow, one of the best in the NFL against pressure. Tua Tagovailoa, one of the worst in the NFL against pressure. So give me the narrative that counters what I'm saying. It's nothing but vague stuff. Well, the O-line is not good. Let's dive into the numbers, but you don't want to do that. You just want to stay right there and say something we all know, the O-line is no good. And what I'm telling you is the stats say when you fix the O-line, you're going to get a Baker Mayfield situation. That's what the statistics tell you. Because the more protection he has, the worse his numbers get, which is crazy to me. Tennessee Titans game. Shocker of all shocks. Wow, this O-line actually protected him. Jets game. Wow, this O-line actually protected him. Saints game. Wow, they actually did a solid job. Worst 3 games in the and those were the offensive lines, like 3 of their best performances in the season. Those 3 games were our offensive lines, 3 of their best performances in the season. His 3 worst games. So please indulge me on the narrative that counters what I'm telling you. Please help me understand the narrative that will counter what I'm saying so I can understand it. You said wins and losses are not a QB stat, and they're not. But that's the first thing that they bring up when talking about a QB. I guess you're the only one that knows anything. You better be right then, Big. You're right. I guess I am the only one. Everybody who thinks that wins and losses are a QB stat, they're casuals. They don't know anything about football. And just because you got people who play football sitting on a podium on national television, making it seem like it is, it's just because they're lazy journalists. They don't do their due diligence to learn the ins and outs about a team. So they rather just talk about the quarterback because it makes for the best conversation. These same TV shows that want to talk about the Cowboys, LeBron James, and any controversy, and that is it. Because they don't do any real research to be able to have an intelligent conversation of what real issues a team has. Big Black said, wow, I'm a casual. If you think wins and losses are a QB stat, I believe you are a casual. I believe you are a casual. What could Josh Allen have done better in the AFC Championship? He's supposed to be responsible for their defense being trash in the game? Is that what it is? Tom Brady throws for almost 500 yards in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. He's supposed to be responsible for that game? And in that game, it's almost like no team punted. He's supposed to be responsible. If you say yeah, you're a casual. There's no logic behind your belief. None whatsoever. It's a freaking team sport. All these great offenses, just like Herbert out here putting up offense, defense can't stop nothing. But then when the narrative shifts and the quarterback you love balls out and our defense gives up points, we want to talk about, well, he can't play defense. He can't play defense. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you, Big Black. Why did we lose to the Chiefs last year? Why did we lose to the Chiefs last year? Please indulge me that. Why did we lose to the Chiefs last year? Theo with the $20 donation. Appreciate you, homie. Said Tua fans loves to talk about what Tua don't have, like a good old line. Well, the old line don't have a QB that can come to the line and identify the mic, switch the protection if needed. They looked a lot better with Fitz. Tua equals, I can't see that, something, maybe a trash can. He just called you casual with his last comment, TD. That's his opinion. I ain't gonna knock his opinion. TD's a casual in your opinion. Okay. But again, I'm sitting here giving logical explanatory reason of why I'm saying what I'm saying. And your reply is, you're just a casual. I'm asking you questions. So basically, you're telling me every game that Tua lost, though, is his fault. Every single one of them is his fault. If we lost the game with Tua under center, it was 100% his fault. That's what you're saying. If that's what you want to go with, okay. If that's what you want to go with, okay. TD, the fans still pounding the table for Tua, just can't let go of the fact that he did at Alabama just isn't translating to the big leagues. Yeah, but because he'll never get what he had at Alabama. The best at every position on the field. It's unrealistic in the NFL. That's why Alabama's have a hard time adjusting to this league. Simple. But it's ridiculous. This whole notion, win-loss is only is a QB stat. I can't believe. You mean to tell me Tannehill can go in the playoffs and throw for 87 yards and they win the game? That's his win. It was because of him. It was because of him. It was because of him. And if a quarterback throws for 500 yards and they lose the game, if a quarterback throws for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, put up 35 points and they lose the game, then he got to own it. That's on him. It's his fault. It's his fault. Come on, man. Y'all need to stop that. That's the simplistic football thinking because you can't really dive in to see the whole picture of a team and the dynamic of a team. You are a basic, simple football fan. Casual. If you think that the win-loss is a QB stat. You are a casual. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. This is TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I will see y'all later on. I'm sure there'll be more news. Me and the kids and the wife, we finna get out of the house, try to go do a few little fun activities to entertain them. But thank y'all. Love y'all so much, man. Appreciate y'all. I didn't say anything disrespectful to anyone. I just gave you my opinion. Okay. I know some people up in their feelings right now. But again, we'll have a smoke show soon if you willing to come on and debate it with me. That's all I can say. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I will see y'all soon. Peace. I am out.